All right, guys, welcome back. I'm kind of diving back into more bourbon barrel-aged beers, especially in summertime. It's kind of unheard of, but I have such a large stash in my cellar downstairs in my basement that I thought this was a proper decision to try to crack into some of those and get them reviewed for you guys. That's why I kept them for all these years. I'm trying to get some done, trying to get some reviews out. So, again, back to an OddSide beer, the Nightman Leaveth. So what we have is a imperial rye milk stout with vanilla beans aged in rye whiskey barrels. So this is a beer I think I enjoyed literally about 4 years ago, and I have not sipped it since, or not had one since. And so this was packaged on 10/20/20. So literally almost 4 years old to the day, time of recording. I mean, it's June 24 here, but you guys can see it's been aged properly. It wasn't refrigerated though, so it is just in a cellar at about 57 degrees ballpark temperature. And what we have on the back is we aged this imperial milk stout to perfection in rye whiskey barrels and added vanilla beans. The result is a slightly sweet, smooth, creamy stout with underlying rye, sweet, and spicy finish. 11% alcohol by volume. So again, nearly 4 years old. I didn't have such good luck doing the espresso KBS recently. It was 5 years old, I think, and none of the things I enjoyed about it were still remaining in that bottle. So this is in a can, so I think it holds up a little bit better in a can, and let's see what we're working with. Big pop. Whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what's funny is when I first sipped that KBS the other day, or last week, it tasted good at first, but then as it kind of aerated and opened up, it all the flavor left it. So it's almost like it encapsulated a flavor. Let's see if this is the same result. So I'm going to pour it a little bit aggressively. Look at the head retention. Wow, at 11%, kind of crazy. Dark midnight cola in the glass. It's not anything that we need to really brag about. It's big head retention, though. Check that out. I poured it like a jackwagon, though, so let's be mindful of that. Yeah, and I'm spilling a little bit as I go. So Nightman Leaveth. I feel like OddSide does bourbon barrel-aged stouts really well, even whether they're rye barrels, oak barrels, whatever they are. Bourbon this, bourbon that. They do a lot of great bourbon barrel-aged stuff. They make good beer in general, so that's a disclaimer. I do love OddSide, and I've enjoyed a lot of things from them over the years. But the Nightman Leaveth, I do remember really liking this one. I want to say that I've had it several times, but I don't know, I think I had it in like 2019. I think I had it and reviewed it in 2020, obviously, for the channel. So that's the disclaimer. Not sure what I'll feel about this product now that it's been aged for 4 years. So again, another disclaimer, I feel like I enjoy beers fresh nowadays. A lot of times I enjoy the bourbon barrel aged stuff, especially if it's coffee or espresso. I like that fresh. I like getting that young feeling. I like the bold, assertive flavors. So we'll see if this mellowed out a little too much for me, but we will find out. Let's go do a nose. So I get, like, again, woody rye barrel. There is some like spicy aromatics popping off with like a woody complex. A little bit of like earthy chocolate. Definitely a little bit of that sweetness from not only chocolate, but you know, a milk vanilla kind of quality. It's more like a powdered milk rather than actual liquid form, if that makes any sense. Yeah, powdered sugar. There is like this little bit of sweetness that's popping off, a little bit of cocoa nibs, a little bit of like leather. But the spice, I feel like it's not assertive. It's a calm spice. It's not overly done. So we'll see what this is, guys. We're gonna dive in. Cheers. We'll get a taste on it. So there is still a rye spice to this. Like there's like a white and black peppercorn kind of complex at the end of it. The woodiness is not so overplayed. Usually I notice when a bourbon barrel age beer sits for a long time, it ends up being very woody, like reminiscent of the wood, but it's dry wood. It's like toothpick. This one's still like that, but there's still a little bit of like a chocolate soaked rye liquid that comes into the wood. So it's like a submerged wood with rye whiskey still. But this like mellowed out quite a bit. Like I feel like it used to be spicier. The sweetness has subsided a little bit. You're still getting like a milk chocolate, a vanilla powdered confectionery sugar. You're getting that rye spice kind of offsetting some of the sweetness. And again, you're getting like an earthy kind of like raisiny chocolate, if that makes sense, with a little bit of like a leather tobacco smokiness to it a little bit. It's not too overdone. It seems like it's subsided. Everything that was very firm on this probably has subsided quite a bit. This is really good. Everything's blended together really well. Like the rye, I feel like used to be very strong, and it was a little bit overpowering potentially. But the flavors have melded together. They've just combined and played off of each other really well. They've just combined into a nice marriage of flavors, complexes from all different angles, and settled out into one nice liquid flavor here. Obviously it's liquid, but not sure where I'm going with that. Like again, I'm getting like almost like a smoky rye. Maybe that's where I was going with that liquid smoke, but it's not like super smoky. It's just giving me those vibes. This is really good. Like this aged gracefully. And it is still creamy, like great body, almost like oatmeal stout kind of vibes for being 11%. Really nice, really smooth body. Again, the rye has subsided a little bit. It's a little bit like that peppercorn kind of finish. But there's no heat on the throat, so going down like butter, going down really smoothly, and just a blend of fantastic flavors. Cocoa nibs, a dark chocolate, a little bit of like a raisin complex in there, and then again the vanilla confectionery powdered, you know, the milk sugar kind of thing. But it's on the drier end, so the sweetness has, I feel like, subsided as well. So blended into that barrel and that woodiness really nicely. Probably one of my more favorite like aged bourbon barrel aged stouts in a long time. It just feels like these aged really gracefully together, and the ingredients blended in a real nice way. I'm a big fan of this. So it's really smooth too. Like that's the thing, is there's no heat. You can feel it a little bit, but it's really subsided. Anything that was majorly assertive or dominant on the palate is just subsided. Just a blend of great flavors. Maybe a touch coffee too. A little touch of that in there. This is really nice. It's just this would have been nice to share with somebody. What a great beer. Blended for 4 years and aged. Rating. I like this a lot. 4.3 out of 5. It aged really well. I would drink this again, and I have another one in the basement, guys. I will be trying it. So until next time, cheers, pros, yamas. It's been a 4-year aged, the Nightman Leaveth from OddSide. Cheers.